cloud. Cool, much better. Share, share. You go up here. Okay, sorry. So where we just were, we've forked the repository. All we did was fork the repository. It now lives under my account. And I want to get that code onto my local machine so I can make some changes to it. Okay, so again, I click the green code button. I have this right here. It's under HTTPS. I put the clipboard. I go to a terminal. I'm now in my just regular old homework directory. There's nothing here. I'm going to bring the code down. I type in git clone paste. That's it. Clone, right? I feel like that's kind of self-explanatory. Clone whatever is there. And do that. Now it's going to ask you to authenticate. So you're going to go ahead and put in your username. You're going to go in and put in your password. Maybe just grab mine. Oh, 1 second. Two-factor, guys, is a good thing. Okay. Yes, I do have my phone. So I'll just run the command again. Put in my username, paste my password, and we're done. This repository, this folder right here, is everything that's here. So just so I can show you, we can take a look at that this is an exact, one-to-one match. We have everything over here now. I'm going to CD into Cyber Assignment Weekend 1. I'm going to LS. I see 3 folders or directories: average, most common word, plumbing, and a README. Where are those? That's this: average, most common word, plumbing, and a README. And it usually just by default shows you what the README is. So for ease, I'm just going to show you what it looks like here. And just so you have an idea of what the homework actually is for the weekend, I'll go through the very beginning of it. So here are the instructions. Inside each folder, there's going to be another readme.md file. And that file has instructions for each problem you're going to work on. So we got 3 problems, right? And all you got to do is update the Python file that's going to be included in each of these directories. Okay, so let's take a look at this first one. It's average. Okay, here's the README. Here's the file. And it says, edit the file named average so that it accepts an unlimited number of arguments from the command line. And it's going to compute the average, and looks like it'll print it out. So here's what it should do. Call your function, or run your file, give it some stuff from the command line, 10 and 20. The average of that is 15. That's what prints out. Cool. We can kind of understand what we need to do here with this challenge. To help you, we have provided some scaffolding. So let's take a look at what's actually in here. This is the file you're going to be editing. I'll show you what it looks like in your terminal too. We've written a lot of it for you, and we provided some comments for what you need to replace and fix. So just walking through this here, we have, right, what is this going to be doing? It's setting the interpreter. We're importing sys so that we can get arguments from command line, and then we'll give you comments. Now, what you need to do is you're going to look for where there's underscores, and that's what you're going to replace. So for example, let's do this one. Let's solve this together. Replace the underscores with arguments from the command line. So let's look at this one. You need to capture all of the elements from sysargv except for the first. What would I put in here? So I'm capturing everything from sysargv except for the first.
You would put sys.argv and then in square brackets 1 colon and close brackets.
Crushing it, right? You guys learned so much already. It's only been a week. So let's do this, and I'll show you exactly what it looks like doing it. All right, so here I am in Cyber Assignment Weekend 1. Here are those files. Let's go into average, right? Let's confirm that we see that same README. Right, it's the same README. It gets interpreted a little bit differently. You don't get that nice syntax highlighting, but it's the same thing. Okay. So I'm going to open it up in whatever text editor you like. I'm going to do exactly what I think that was Brittany. Correct me if I'm wrong. I'm not corrected, so I guess I'm right. And say argv1 colon. Okay. That's all I would do. Now, I'm not going to solve the rest of this with you. I'll let you guys do it. But let's pretend I'm finished.
Wait, why is it not sysargv?
Oh, sorry. So, well, thanks. I got too
Oh.
excited that I was right with the. I got too excited. I was right with the name that that I just skipped ahead. All right. So let's assume that I finished everything. Right. I got my thing right. I have my functions and they all work. How do I push this code that I've worked very hard on onto GitHub so that it can live there and be nice and safe? So what I like to do is I go to the top of the repository or the root of this repository, right? That's Cyber Assignment Weekend 1. And you can tell, right? Like this is the root, Cyber Assignment Weekend 1. So I go right up there, confirm it, right? And I do these commands and I will again write them out for you and you will have this video. I'll upload it tomorrow morning before 9 a.m. Git add dot. So git add everything that's here. You don't have to do this next step, but I always do it. It's called git status. It'll show you that it is what you've modified and what you've added, right? This is green now. If I didn't add it, it would have been red before. Now it's green. Okay. Now I have to commit my message. So that means, so you have some idea of the context when you add more code to something. Usually we like to have little messages. What did you actually add here? So someone can look at it. So git commit -m for message, and I'm going to say done.
Is it okay if we do this right now, or should we not do this?
You can commit right now if you'd like. You can go ahead and follow along with me, right? You can commit as many times as you want. We're only going to look at the last commit. Okay, and this is kind of like you can think of it as saving hard save, right? We're saving it out to GitHub, committing. Git commit -m, right? Here's my message. You're going to get this the first time. The first time you do this in your Kali box, you're going to get this. Thankfully, Git's being helpful and it tells you what you need to do, right? Saying, please tell me who you are. Run these 2 commands on your account's default identity, right? My default identity here is just root Kali. So I'm just going to run them. Git config -- global user.email and use the email that's associated with my account. Git config -- global user.email. Give it that. Cool. Bash didn't say anything, so I guess that's great. Git config -- global user.name Matt. Cool. All right. Well, let's try committing again. Git commit -m for message. Done. Cool. We've committed. But now there's one final step to actually put the code up there. And while we're here, we just do git push. You authenticate again. Copy that. Paste. It does its thing. Cool. And then to confirm, make sure you do this. You go to your account and you make sure that you can see those changes. Now, if I go here, I go to average.py, I now have changed it. So it says sys.argv 1:. So git clone to bring things down. Once you're done and saved everything, you go to the root, git add dot, git commit -m, your message, git push. You can memorize those commands. And you have any other git problems, you kind of Google them.
Can you go back to your Linux page again?
Go back to the terminal here.
Thanks.
We can even take a look at the history if you like.
Hey, Matt,
Yes.
does Git keep like an old copy of the files?
Of your old commits? Yes, you can go
Yeah.
back. You can go back and look at the old commits. I forget where it is. Where are those commits? 8 commits. You can see what was happened. You could go back. If I click this, will I go back to it? You'll see the differences. You can Google what is the command I think to roll back to a previous commit. But generally, you don't want to roll back to a previous commit. You usually want to just make a new commit with the changes. Generally. Cool.
I had a question.
Yes.
So after we did like the code and stuff and we're done, right? So that's when you just like went out of it and then did git add and then the dot.
Yep. Once you're done and you want to push it, that's when I would do, like, once you're happy with wherever you are, that's where I would do git add dot, git commit -m, git push.
Great, thank you.
You don't have to keep doing it. Just do it once. Do it once at the end. Once you're done, that's probably the easiest way. And if you ever forget, you probably just Google like how to push to GitHub. Something like that.
Okay, so you said you're gonna post video instructions on this. Where are you gonna put that?
I am going to put it in the repo. So everything I give you guys is here, right? You go to GitHub, Full Stack Academy, and then 2011, right? You guys have all seen this now. This is your repository. Think of it, I don't want to think of it as the textbook of the class, but it's where we're going to be posting everything. Frank and I try and update this daily. So you click here, right? Here we have week 1 stuff, right? Compilation and interpretation. You want to go ahead, you click the video, and boom, we're at that video of day 1 of compilation and interpretation, right? Same thing here. All of the resources will be available to you and they'll be available to you forever. You want to see the slides? There they are. And in fact, if you want a local copy of this, you can clone this repository down. You're just going to have to make sure to run the git command to update it every time we do. Cool. Was anyone having trouble as they were kind of following along with me doing this?
Yes. Is there a way to undo your clone?
Like you
Or
cloned
should I
it.
just Google it? Yeah, I cloned it into the wrong place.
I would probably just delete it and clone it again.
Got it. Thank
The
you.
only other thing that sometimes happens to people is nested Git repositories. So you just don't want to be in a Git repository and clone another Git repository. It's an easy mistake to make. It's not the end of the world if you do it. It's very easy to fix too. It's actually a pretty common mistake. But you're only cloning one repo, so Git's going to be a tool that, like I said, Git's not going to be a tool that goes away. In Red Team, you're going to be like, there's going to be tools that are not already on Kali that you might want to use that are on GitHub. For example, there's Seclists is a pretty handy tool that's on GitHub. And really, it's just a whole bunch of different lists. I like their password list. They have a whole bunch of common passwords. Here we go, default credentials. Here, it's a whole, maybe you'd want a list of all these common passwords and default credentials. It's interesting that Lizard's one of the top ones. So there's all kinds of things that are useful on GitHub, and I want you guys to at least be familiar enough to like, hey, I want this. I'm just going to git clone it, and now I have it.
I just have one question.
Sorry.
Oh, I'm sorry.
No, go ahead.
Okay. After you submit the homework, will you be told if it's correct or wrong in any way?
Yeah, so the fellows and I'll be grading it. So hopefully by end of day Monday, you'll know. Yeah, so probably just either reach out to your fellows, they'll be grading them. Pretty much we're just going to grade these problems as we got nothing for it, as in there was no effort, nothing changed from the files, or you gave it your honest effort, but it doesn't work, or you get points, get the full credit because you wrote the function and it does the thing, right? So you can think of it like that. Makes it easy for everybody.
What pre-work do we need to have done for Monday?
Ooh, fantastic question. Let me add the new one here. We're going to be working on web stuff. So it's going to be internet 2. Let me open up those.
I opened them.
Oh, you already got them? Thank you, Frank. You're a hero. So it will be web 2, I think it's called, or net 2. Let me go look at it and learn.
HTTP part 2.
HTTP part 2. Back with a vengeance.
So I was following along with you, and when I go to GitHub and I look at my commits, it says it was done by root. Is that what it's supposed to say, or is it supposed to say something else?
You made a
That's
com-
because, yeah, you
go ahead.
made a commit as the root user, so it's just committed as root.
Is that good or bad?
It doesn't make a difference.
Okay.
Yeah. We have time now allocated specifically for me explaining this homework now. So if you want to, I would suggest kind of just follow it like you did following along. Otherwise, you can kind of leave it open for some questions.
Yeah, I think maybe if everybody could just kind of go through it and try to do their first commit like now, to see if they